What's up, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Team Chat Podcast. I am one of your hosts, Jerrett Wilson, joined to my right by Rachel Mogan.
What's up?
And to my left, Zachary Parks.
Hello.
In case you did not know, Team Chat Podcast is a video game podcast where we talk about games, the ones we love, the ones we hate, and everything in between. If you want to get in contact with us, send us an email at teamchatpodcast@gmail.com. Follow us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, like us on Facebook, and subscribe to our YouTube and iTunes channels. If you want to support the show, you can do that as well by going to patreon.com/teamchatpodcast, whereas for as little as $1 a month, you can support the show, and in return, we will give you a cool perk, like getting the episode early before its General Tuesday release, and access to our private Team Chat Podcast Discord server. Now I'm done with my spiel. We're just going to move on. I passed that little blurb.
Someone needs, if a fan would supercut your intros, your intro flub ups, that would be a knockout.
That'd be a really good video.
That'd be a great Christmas gift for
absolutely. An excellent present for episode 100 for all of us.
I forgot to bring it today, but I actually got, I can't remember how, like a little gel cooling pack that is in the shape of a Facebook thumbs up like. And I wanted to ask us to be able to be like, smash that like button.
Oh, dude, that would have been great.
That would've
Missed
been so
opportunity.
funny.
Do you think we could have broken it? Like it would have blown up? Yeah, smash that like button, y'all.
Well, if you tried hard enough, probably.
That'd be pretty cool. Hey, like, knife that.
It had like those weird little
button.
gel kind of beads in it so that it was really squishy. I think it's to
We
keep
should say
stuff
things
cold,
like-
but I can't actually prove that.
Oh, like one of those, like,
I
like
think it's like for a
non-freezing,
lunchbox
but like
or something. Yeah, I
You
don't
could say like, squeeze that leg, but we should say like other adjectives, or not adjectives, verbs.
Yeah,
Right?
that'd be pretty funny. You should
Hey,
bring it.
rub that subscribe button.
Gross! No, it's not. Use the other.
Twist that.
Twist that.
We can
that
just use
thumbs
like
up.
the bop it version. So
Yeah.
like, twist it, bop
Twist it, bop it, boop it.
Smash it. Well, we do have
Smash is no better than these other ones.
I guess, yeah, smash and rub and kind of on the same lines. All right, well, we do not have, we're recording the day of this a little early, so we don't have an update yet for the song contest, but we will notify you of a winner. But this game that Dylan sent the song in from was Super Mario Brothers 3. It was where you're once, twice, 3 times a platformer. Once his hand.
Oh, that's cheating.
That's a good.
Why is that cheating?
I don't like
the
that.
best. That's the best hint we've ever got.
Thank you. I love it.
And we did get it.
So, well, it's only because the contest hasn't been out for its full tenure. There's still time.
No,
there's still time.
I
I don't know. A couple weeks ago, Mark Van Buren came in right at the last minute,
That's
stole
true.
it, and stole it
Game
with a win.
saver.
Yeah,
Facts.
exactly. So,
Facts are true.
yeah, facts of life. That's what it is.
Thank you for your input, Zach.
Facts are true.
So anyway, stick around to the end of this episode where I have a song and hint for next week's song contest. But our topic for today is revisiting an old one. I looked this up. Last time we did this topic.
Let me guess.
Okay,
23.
No.
close.
Really?
Yeah.
It's
suck
like
it.
Three Stooges.
22.
I was going to say like 18.
No, too cold.
Oh, 27?
24.
Pretty hot.
26.
28.
Yes.
Damn you to hell, woman.
So way back when in episode
What do I get?
28, this
get-
pen. You have control of the whiteboard today.
That's me, Lord Jerrett. That's where he gets his
I'm
power.
in charge. The power.
Power.
But way back in episode 28 is when we first did this topic. So now we're coming back
That's
with
fucking
with-
way back.
Way back there.
Yeah.
69 episodes ago.
I can't believe we haven't revisited this one yet.
I know, right?
great
It was a great
topic.
topic.
Dude, I thought
These
for
are-
sure we had.
But we're not going to keep you in suspense any longer. The topic is multiplayer maps, Volume 2. Volume
Finally, at long last.
I know,
Gosh.
seriously, long
Yeah.
overdue. We always do these first list episodes saying like, oh yeah, we'll come back and revisit it.
Hey,
But I mean,
we're
you gotta-
filthy liars.
You got to spread it out a little bit.
Hey,
You can't
Team
do
Chat
you can't do
fans.
Volume 1.
Can we put
and
that
then
on
like
the whiteboard?
5 episodes.
Team
What?
Chat lies.
Yeah, sure.
Put it on there.
Oh, I can't write that fast.
Never mind.
You like that episode? You'll never get another
Never get
version
another
of it.
one. Highest rated one. We
Yeah,
gotta keep it
highest
that
rated.
way.
Yeah.
We should do like
You
a
won't get that one
brutally
again.
honest team chat.
Oh, that'd be.
Like they do brutally honest reviews of like trailers.
Oh yeah.
That'd be so funny.
Sit down. That Jerrett
Team
guy.
Chat. We should do it to ourselves. We should roast ourselves.
We should.
Team Chat podcast where we,
Just go like,
Talk about
an
nothing.
easy one. The low hanging fruit of the roast would be like, hey, it's Jared, the guy who can say the intro 96 times and still fuck it up.
Yeah, that's
one out of 3 times.
Well, yep. That's
That's about the going rate.
Yeah.
You know,
we should roast
Far off.
ourselves.
again, got to stay the course. Keep it
someone
even
should
keel
roast
so
us.
nobody knows. So nobody gets upset when things change.
Zach's hair is never the same.
Never the same.
That's
I want to
true.
hear someone roast
You
us
do
and
have
we
the,
get
the
like
most variation of hairstyles.
we get really offended. Like, you get very like, 1 hour. You want to waste your time? Just a team
like
chat for 1 hour.
We're
It's like,
closing down. Just all stay sad.
shit.
All right, so who wants to kick us off with these multiplayer maps? I tell you what, everybody, you missed some great pre-show. I mean, maybe we'll put
You
it out
include
there.
it.
Yeah, we should
Well,
just
no, because it was like 15 minutes of
Put it in
pre-show.
the end.
Bonus-ode.
Bonus ode. There you go.
Bonus-ode.
Because, man, we got all
You have to give us
feisty
money.
talking about things. So let's talk
Well,
about
it's because
Star
the
Wars
Lord
and all that.
Jerrett makes us scared. We're
Yeah,
like
we were
afraid
afraid
for
to.
our
What's all
lives
this
around
about?
that.
Fed to hell.
Oh my God. It's just sending out misinformation all over the place. All right, so
Fake
who wants
news.
to kick us off in one of these multiplayer maps?
All right, I think I'll go first.
All right.
For once, I never go first.
No, you don't.
So,
well,
and the
okay.
only
I
reason...
feel like we
elect
give you
people.
the offer. That's true.
You elect
normally tell
people.
us who goes to
It's
first.
a nice
No, I meant that I
workaround.
like never want to go first.
Oh, okay.
That's what I meant. No, I never go first. I never want to go first.
Okay, so yeah, kick us off then.
Yeah, the amendment is I'm actually
Cool,
wanting
I feel
to go
no
first.
more guilt.
because we kind of have this one in common. Finally, now that you're here with me after all these years, it is from Splatoon 2.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Yes,
nice.
and it is. Can you guess it? I'll give you a hint. It was
Okay.
from the Splatfest.
Oh, God.
It was one of the ones featured there. Come on, you can do it, buddy. You're so close.
Shifty towers. Shifty
For God's sake.
shifty sails. Shifty shores.
Shifty eyes?
You get 2 more tries.
Shifty swifty.
No, that was the closest you've been.
Shifty shores.
Well.
You said shores already. But it's Shifty Station, you fool.
Oh,
All right, let's see. All right.
So mine is
close
Shifty
enough.
Station, and Zach, I know that you do not play the Splat game,
Nope.
but it is the best.
I stand behind
Splat
that.
Just shut up! I'll kill you. That's an example of Shifty Station.
It looks
fun
like
does
you're
that
in
work?
Tokyo.
It kind of does look like that, but
does.
that's just all of Splatoon because that's how the Inklings roll. So Shifty Station is one that I particularly wanted to highlight because A, it's new as of Splatoon 2.
cool.
So Shifty Station was non-existent in Splat 1 and for good reason. So the whole concept of Shifty Station is it's real shifty, man.
It moves.
So
I'm
it
guessing.
not sort of
Yeah.
a little bit of both. So I should stop doing that. So Shifty Station is a map that only comes with Splatfest. So Splatfest, for anyone that hasn't ever played a Splatoon game,
I have now.
Yeah, Jerrett has now played 1 Splatfest.
Yes.
Good job.
That's enough.
It's enough. So and he played 5 games of the Splatfest.
Yeah.
It
I was
wasn't-
up late. Okay. I had a busy day.
Anyways, so the Shifty Station is basically a map that only happens during Splatfest, which is like the 1 day, 24-hour bonanza where you pick where there's 2 teams and you pick a team and you just battle it out for 24 hours. And the winning team gets a bunch of cool power-up snails. So Shifty Station A is really special because it only happens once every couple of months, however many times there's going to be a Splatfest out, and B, it changes every time. So I know you probably haven't seen its past iterations, but you
No.
actually got kind of unlucky. The most recent Splatfest, which for those of you who know would have been sci-fi versus fantasy, that was like the worst Shifty Station so far.
So remind me again, what did it look like this time? Is that the
It
one that
was
had
the
like
one
the
that was-
water in the middle of it and then it had the
No, that's Canal. That's Snapper Canal, I think.
Oh, okay. Well, no, that it like and it had like the slopes on the side.
That is Snapper
Okay,
Canal.
that's Snapper. Okay.
No, but it had the snapper.
No, that's Snapper
It had
Canal.
snapping turtles running around.
That's
I feel
Snapper
like those fit with Shifty Station.
There were some ladders at Snapper Canal.
There was a canal.
No, so Snapper Canal is like a newer one in the game. They
Okay.
announced it maybe like a month ago. Snapper Canal came out, but Shifty Station this time was the map that was really confined. It was actually fairly blocky. I wouldn't say that it had
I
that
know what
much
you're talking
going
about
for
now.
it. And it had like the little tubes that you could
Yes,
paint and then get
yes.
into and pop out on the other side. That's actually like the worst Shifty Station has been so far. What I really like about it is that I think it gives the developers a really good example to show off features that they don't get to build into regular stages. So this would have been like a couple of Shifties ago. There was one where like all of the platforms on, not all of them, but like the two main platforms of the game of the map were constantly moving.
Okay.
So like every time it would move to a certain side, you would get all of these new pathways open. And then every time it moved back, you would get all of these new pathways open. And it was the same for both sides because they're symmetrical, which opened up a lot of really fun opportunities to A, try to screw over the enemy team, and B, try to make new inroads for your teammates. Like if you've got squid beacons or something like that.
Yeah.
Do you know what a squid beacon is, sir? Oh my God. Okay.
Okay, we've gone over this. I haven't been as active of a player as I should
So
be.
a squid beacon is like the
Splatoon
little
2.
satellite that you can plop down. It's one of your sub-weapons.
Okay.
So like if you've got squid beacons, you plop them down, and that means that your teammates from spawn can pull up their map, see your squid beacon, and super
okay.
jump
I
to
saw
it.
a couple people using
So
those.
they don't exactly. So squid beacons are great. So if you can like find one of those little inroads that maybe isn't active the whole, like maybe people aren't paying attention to that particular route the whole game.
Yep.
It makes it so much fun to like just get under the enemy team's skin, and then you're so busy bombarding their spawn that you forget about your spawn, and then everybody's just traded sides. That's my favorite thing that happens during the game, is that it's still even, but on opposite sides of the team. And the one before that, no wait, this was the one after that, so that was 2 ago, I think. And then the one that was most recent, except for this one, werewolves? Werewolves versus vampires.
Yeah.
Yes. It would have been this big stage that had like these big, revolving elevators.
Yeah.
They had like these two big revolving
I'm just trying to think
elevators.
if you meant like in the game or
No, just in life.
in life.
In life.
And I was like, yes, I do know.
They had
revolving
like these
elevators.
two big revolving elevators in the middle of the stage that were how the only real way that you could get to the other side, and they made for some really fascinating choke points. And it was just, all of the shifty stations have their own unique thing that kind of does something that the regular maps don't. They have moving components. They feel a lot more alive. Not including this most recent one, Cypher First Fantasy, it sucked. But all of the other ones feel a lot more alive than the static stations do.
Okay.
Maps. I'm getting all my words mixed up. So, you should not count this one as being the best of the best.
But Shifty Station always shows up in Splatfest.
Shifty Station is always going to show up
Sweet.
in Splatoon 2, but it's going to be different every time. So the next Shifty Station should hopefully be a lot better. So bank on it.
All right.
Shifty Station, woo!
The money down.
So actually, I was
All
playing
in.
before we both succumbed to sweet slumber on the other night when I was playing Splatoon 2. I was laying in bed playing it. That's how much I was like,
I
I
was up
want to get
until
in.
2 a.m., sir, like
I
a
was
good
not.
Splatoon
I was not.
fan.
I had an early morning the
Little
next day.
Squid League.
But so
They are inklings. I will
Squid League.
kill you.
But I was laying in bed
game.
playing it,
Sorry.
and Sam was laying. It was there, and she was like, "Wait, in Splatoon 2, do you just paint stuff?" And I was like, "Yeah, pretty much.
Snap.
You run
pretty
around
much.
painting stuff and then trying to splat other people
Yeah.
with your paint." And she's like, "I might have to play Splatoon 2."
Dude, she might
She would
like
actually
it.
really
she
love
should
it.
give it a try, because if she can get on that Discord with me and we can like battle it out, that would be just super.
Oh yeah, I bet I need to try to get her to play it
You
because I
can
bet
let
she
her
would
know
actually
it's
like
a
it.
lot more competitive than Mario.
Oh, yeah.
Just let her know in advance.
She loves to beat people in battle on Mario Kart. So
well,
she'd
yeah,
probably
maybe she'll love
the
it.
Splatoon
I mean, because
competitiveness.
kind of the mechanics of swimming through ink are a little similar to like
kind
go
of.
karting around, sort of.
Fast path
Anyways,
from A to
yeah.
B.
Anyways, so yeah, she should
Nice.
play it, and she should join me at the next Splatfest.
I will definitely be better, more active in the next Splatfest.
If you say so.
Promise.
that is if I say
Jerrett,
so.
promise.
All right. Well, Zach, let you take a sip of that LaCroix as I give you a little bit of buffer
It is
time here.
LaCroix.
LaCroix.
Let me think.
Whatever.
What's a good multiplayer map? No, I'm just joking.
So yeah. So what is your?
Didn't
What's a good
prepare
one?
for this at
No,
all.
I got plenty. You want me to go?
Well, yeah.
I'm probably the big. If I would argue that out of all three of us,
Oh, you know by far the
I
most.
Yeah, you've got the most log.
most love for multiplayer maps.
Yes.
Well, maybe that's a strong.
So hit us
opinion.
with one.
I don't think I've talked about this one, but I definitely have talked about something in this one. So this comes from a franchise that I've talked with great love on this show, but I haven't talked that in depth. But maybe now we could say that I've now talked much in depth about it.
Is it Halo?
No,
I'm just
Unreal
putting it out there.
Splinter Cell.
Splinter Cell. Oh,
Cell.
yeah. You've
Big-
talked
big
about the
big move.
multiplayer before, but you haven't
Yeah.
actually gone into detail about like any of the maps and stuff.
Yeah. So if you're not familiar with the multiplayer components of Splinter Cell, I still stand my ground that I think that's one of the best multiplayer experiences I've ever had online. If you're not familiar with it, Spies vs. Mercs, and I'm talking about Pandora Tomorrow and Chaos Theory specifically. And this map comes from Chaos Theory, but it's 2v2, 2 Spies versus 2 Mercs, so you can only have 4 people, and it is each just very brief description of what it's like. The Spies third person view can climb, can throw smoke bombs. are supposed to be sneaky, have night vision, can come behind mercs and choke them out. They have a taser, but that's about it. They can like stun them, but they're very weak. Don't have a lot of armor and ammo. And
I identify with the spies.
And the mercenaries are out to get them, and they're much more armored, much more ammunition. They have shotguns and assault rifles, lights, laser beams. They have everything.
Bunch of assholes.
But they can't climb in to where the spies can go. So when you get to a multiplayer map, it's like 2 different maps. It's the map for the mercs and the map for the spies.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, so the map for the mercs of this. So the specific map I'm talking about is aquarium, and it's an aquarium.
It sounds fun.
Spoiler, it's an aquarium. Yeah.
What if it wasn't? What if it were the zoo?
Yeah. You're outside. It's a nicely structured map, like most of the Splinter Cell maps, and it has different levels. And with the way the mercenaries experience the map, that you got to use the stairs. There's the main floor that is the aquarium. That's just really beautiful. It's this nice blue that melts into the black. And as a merc, you have to be very wary of shadows and lights, and the spies can very easily, if they're not moving in like a shadowy corner, you're not going to see, it's hard to see them, but you have your flashlight. So it's like the game has so many different variables that they put into one multiplayer experience, which I just, I haven't found other games that have done such an interesting way of playing with each other. And communication is super important, but basically one of the best parts about Aquarium, and really it's the only reason I'm bringing it up, I think so many maps from the Splinter Cell, like the whole gauntlet of multiplayer maps, I would love to talk about one day. But the favorite, like the one that makes this one so interesting, is one little component that you could do. And me and my buddies had so much fun doing this. Is one of the fish tanks is empty, and so most of them have fish, and you can't really interact with them. But one is empty, and there's a door that you can go into. Only spies can go into. It's a little door. It's like a trap door, and you can go hide in one of the aquarium tanks. And it's cool. Like a really cool place to hide, and you can just be in there. You can close the door behind you. So even if a mercenary sees you, there's nothing he can do. But he sees you in there, and you can be kind of talking to your friend like, oh, he's looking at me, he's looking at me. You go do and get the terminal and distract him. But something that the mercenary can do, and I don't know if they did this in Pandora Tomorrow, but they had interactive maps in Chaos Theory, so there's certain things you could do. You could fill that tank with water as a mercenary and kill the spy and watch him drown in front of you. And the amount of laughs that we got from that one thing, and they'd be jumping around. It's horrific to think about, but it's funny in the video game world. And, they're jumping around like, and you're just like, I got one.
So that was like better if it was like a big tank and they filled it up with water, then they could pull another level and like release a shark.
Yeah, that would be cool too.
So how long does it take to actually drown the spy?
Like it takes a good amount of time. It's like a slow water fill, and then once he's underwater, I think it takes a little time. And does the mercenary
have to like go away and like give the spy potentially an opportunity to escape? Mm-hmm. Or is it just like you push a button and he's dead?
You have to go somewhere to push a button. So
he technically could escape in that time.
He could. And that's also very fun. It's like you can't just look at him and just like, okay, you're stuck in there.
But if you had one mercenary doing
you
the
could be like,
switch,
hey, go push the button.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. So there's a lot
one
of
of you's got to
involved.
watch him, and the other one's got to be like, push the button.
This multiplayer seems like you really do like it's best if you're playing with a friend or with a mic or something like that.
I think you have to be communicating because like it's very easy. Like, hey, I'm going to be in this part of the aquarium. You need to go to this section and do this, and I'll distract him over here because there's only 2 you can only cover so much ground as a mercenary. The spies are like all over the place, like little they're like monkeys,
spider monkeys.
Yeah, like spider monkeys. And the mercenaries are clunky and slow. I mean, just that idea alone is such a great concept. I wish it was explored more. But aquarium was like definitely one of our, like, that's a map that we also just hung out on. Like, hey, let's just get on and like let's just fuck around.
So have they not brought that particular mode back?
And they should.
Why haven't they?
They added a cooperative play in Blacklist, I believe, and they did actually have it, but God, how was it different? Was it 4v4? It was something different about it.
Unacceptable.
Maybe I'm wrong. But I remember those were the formative years of the multiplayer experience for Splinter Cell.
Would you pick whether or not you wanted to be a mercenary or a spy, or was it?
It was like you got. I think it was randomly selected, and then it was rounds. So spies, then you're a merc, then you're a spy, then you're a merc. Yeah, you go back and forth,
gotcha.
Or it's like 3 rounds of spies, 3 rounds of merc. It was like a round based. Yeah.
And is there like an objective?
The spies have to. So the level opens up. Each level has 3 different parts. So the first part, you have to get the 2 terminals, and you go and hack it, and it takes about 10 seconds without getting killed. Mm-hmm. If you hack both terminals, map opens up, move on. Oh,
that's cool.
And if you get all the terminals, spies win. Mercs win by killing the spies. And I think I've talked about this. Like as a spy, you could like get the merc. And you could whisper through your headset into his ear. And be like, I'm gonna kill you. Bam.
Nice.
And he's like, oh, he's right behind me. You know. And as a merc, like so many times your voice would get cut out. Like I think there's one right. And like, oh, fuck. Like they got him.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was cool shit like that. Yeah, it was like, oh my god, it was horrifying sometimes to be a mercenary. Like you're like, like you're like you have your back to like a corner because you know they can get you behind. You have like a light, and like you could be like, dun, 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 dun. You know, you'd be like, and like
into the air ducts.
Holes. Yeah, I'm like, there's another above me.
That's awesome.
It was both sides were fun.
That's pretty fun. That's pretty fun, man. That'd be one to go back.
It's really fun
to go back and play.
What era was that? 360?
360. Yeah,
Yeah.
360. I think Pandora Tomorrow was Xbox, and Chaos Theory was 360. I think maybe.
And they should remake.
It might have been
They should make
Xbox.
a new Splinter Cell.
I would love
play
for them to
it,
make a
for
new
sure.
Splinter Cell. Oh my god, I'd be so excited. But yeah, Aquarium.
When was the last one?
It wasn't that long, like 2013 maybe.
But it was before
Oh
the.
man, that
it was
feels long.
Yeah,
It
it
was
does.
before the new console generation. So.
It is, yeah.
Oh.
So yeah.
Yeah, Blacklist, yeah.
They haven't
Wait,
had
who
one for the
does
Xbox
Splinter
One.
Cell?
Ubisoft.
Is it?
I think
Oh.
so.
That's news to me.
That is news to me too. I did not know
Maybe
that.
they can get Ubisoft Montreal on it. They make some pretty cool
They're a
games.
maker of good games.
Yeah.
They'll bring back Spies versus Mercs.
That would make me happy.
Okay, well, for my first map that I'm going to talk about today is from one of my favorite, and it actually kind of goes in line with yours in a very unique multiplayer experiences. It's from The Last of Us multiplayer, which is, in my opinion, one of the most unique and fun multiplayer games that I've ever played.
Yes.
Or
And yet
multiplayer
one
modes.
that you hear virtually nothing
It-
about.
I know. It has
No one talks about it.
it has a very diehard group of people who play it.
People that love it, love it.
The subreddit is very much alive.
There are 23 of us.
We all know each other.
There are
by
dozens of us.
Our first name.
It's an odd number, so we have to rotate days on who gets to play.
But my map comes from that game. It is the Dam. And as the name implies, it's
Language,
Damn.
good sir.
My ears.
it's centered around a big dam.
Yay.
And so my maps, I've also noticed, kind of fit a common theme and how they're a great mix of like of different variations of like there's different levels to the maps. So like in this one, it starts out there's like obviously the dam, and it has the bridge that you can go on top of it, but it's like the main part of the dam. Then there's like a walkway along the front of the dam that's like down a little bit lower, and then there's the ground, which is like there's the river going through it and trees and hills and stuff like that to hide away. Has like some narrow paths around rocks and stuff like that. But that is in and of itself is what makes this map a great. It's my favorite one from The Last of Us because you can have somebody down up on the walkway of the dam who can look down and see all the people. Because if you're on the walkway, it's very hard, if not impossible, to be shot from the top of the dam just because of the steepness is straight over. So there's not a good place to be able to look over and like point down.
Not with that attitude.
But there are only two entrances to it. So on either side of the dam, there's an entrance to the walkway. So if you can have somebody who can post up there, they can pretty much keep an even eye on the lower part and know if anybody's coming from that way, and you know, either tag the enemies, because that's a big thing in The Last of Us multiplayer is you can, you know, if you can aim at them and then hit I think you click your right trigger and your right stick, and it will tag the person. And so they'll have a little like notification on them as they walk around the map for your other teammates to see. So you can really cover that area well, but then, you know, you got to have people up on the top because that's where the most of the action takes place, is this really cramped area because there's like some water pumps and things like that in the middle of this. So it's not. So you have like these corners and everything, which obviously to make it more fun for multiplayer, there are a lot of like boxes and crates and other fences, other obstructions like that for you to hide and have cover on. But so basically on either side are these is like a building on either side of the top of the dam with two pathways that go around it. The big middle section, which is kind of like has two sides, slivers on the side. There's something in the middle, so you can go around it, and there's like a little path in the middle where there's like a crafting box, because that's a big thing of The Last of Us multiplayer is you craft.
It's totally a ripoff of that Unreal Tournament space level. The two towers, the face-off level.
yeah.
Oh yeah,
right.
but there's still all this other stuff down here, you know, at the bottom of the
Plagiarism!
at the highest levels.
At the highest level, yeah.
But so it just this area, you know, especially if you got two snipers on either end of the dam, or
Terrorism.
or guys with bows and arrows and stuff like that. It could really just get really intense. But the big thing about it that the Last of Us did really well too is they would some of their maps, not all, but some would have some kind of. It's very similar to with how you in Battlefield 1. You know this, like in the Sinai Desert maps or something like that. The sandstorms would roll in. In this one, a fog would roll in.
Ooh, that's
Pretty.
worse.
Yeah,
Sounds nice.
I'm way more scared of fog. Well, it doesn't even make any sense. Why would you be more scared of fog? Sand can actually hurt you.
that's true. Well, in this
fog
one,
But still,
holds
fog
monsters.
is scarier. It's more Silent Hill.
Yeah.
well, because in this one too, and that's when you really have to take into account the listen mode of in Last of Us, which is where you can. It's a feature from the main game, but in this too, if you're hiding, you can crouch and stay still, or you can move around, but it slows your movement and it'll like outline anybody who's making movement and stuff like that. And so it's this mixture of trying to do this, walking around and trying to be stealthy and sneak out. But there are so many instances where I've been walking around and basically run into an enemy because we're both trying to run. And then you got to like start punching each other and shooting each other all crazy and going nuts. Because it's
just a tree.
Yeah. But you think it's a person. You're scared.
Wasted half your ammo.
Yeah, exactly.
He's not going down.
So yeah, but because of that, and just with all the difference and variation, like the 3 different levels that the map had, and then the fog coming in, and then just the tight quarters of it, really made the dam a outstanding.
How do you win? Did you already address that?
You win by basically each team has a set amount of reinforcements. So you basically just it's not like you have to eliminate the whole team at the same time, but you have to run. The other team has to run out of reinforcements before you do. You start off, so it's 2 teams of 4, and you have 20 reinforcements basically.
Okay.
So whoever can just work it down,
Gotcha.
all the way down is going to be the winner.
So
of
it's
it.
just like Outlast. You're just trying to outlast the other team.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Gotcha.
So that is my number 3.
Very
Numero
nice.
tres.
Very nice.
So Mogan, what is your number 2?
So I'm kind of cheating a little bit.
Cheater.
Because it's not as much a
It's a
map.
Game, the
as
Nintendo
it is
GameCube.
a level.
That's cheating.
But it is multiplayer. So this is one of the most overlooked games. Well, maybe not one of the most
Lord,
overlooked.
what a
It's not
statement.
that
That's
overlooked.
a statement.
No,
One of the most-
but it was definitely overlooked because it suffered the Wii U curse. So this would be Super Mario 3D World, which actually was, and I had to take that statement back. It actually was the best-selling game of the Wii U. So I had to backtrack on that real hard. So Super Mario 3D World, for those of you that don't know, is the middle. We actually addressed this a little bit last time. It was the middle game between kind of the Galaxy era games and the Odyssey era games, and everything on the 3DS that came in between, because there were actually quite a few that happened on the handheld system that never made it to console. But so Super Mario 3D World, I think I kind of mentioned this last time. It kind of had a story a little bit, but really it definitely did not. It was all about the gameplay, and one of the most interesting features of it was that it could become multiplayer at any time. It was more integrated multiplayer than, say, Mario Odyssey, where one of you can be Cappy and one of you is Mario, or in even Galaxy, where one of you is Mario and one of you controls the Luma.
That's not.
This was actual multiplayer
Yeah.
because at any time you could choose every single level. You could choose if you
Wow.
to bits.
Sir.
That hasn't happened in 50-some episodes.
I think he deserves some lashes, Lord Jerrett.
No,
Give me your knuckles.
turn off the camera.
Gonna wrap your knuckles with this.
The
So
enforcer.
continue, please.
Before I was so rudely interrupted.
The golf.
I'm so flustered now. I can't remember where I was. Oh yeah, you could choose to be either Peach, Mario, Luigi, or even Toad. And
Okay.
those were the only 4 people you could be until, super spoiler alert, you get another character way later on. No. Maybe.
I'm out. You lost me.
No, I don't
game
think
for
you
me.
could.
No, I was going to buy that game
I don't-
tonight, and now I won't.
Oh, no, wait,
I was
you?
like, go on. Multiplayer, you say?
No. So you could be Peach, Luigi, Mario, or Toad. And depending on who you were, they did all have actually different play styles. So like Luigi always has the higher jump than Mario does. Mario, I think, could do something. He's like the most stable character. He has the least weird movements. Toad blows. I don't know who's being
As
Toad.
usual.
Toad
Yeah,
like
I don't
skids
know
on his
who's
head.
being Toad in those games, but like he has no jump. He makes that
Yeah, I
noise.
know.
It's all bad. And then of course Peach has her hover jump, so you could maybe argue that she might be the easiest one. I don't know if you could actually say that. I don't think so. But anyway, so you can choose who you want to be at any given point, and that extends to multiplayer. Because for any level, you can have up to 4 people all on the same level at the same time.
I feel like I've played this game.
You may have. It's really fun.
Yeah.
So
and you
depending
get
on...
You know,
oh, no, go
I'm just
go
saying,
on,
you
sir.
if you go back, if the camera loses you, you get a little bubble.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah,
And
yeah.
that's actually part of what makes it so fun. So each of these levels, and they're just regular Mario levels, but depending on how many people you have at the same time, it becomes
very chaotic.
chaos
Yeah.
so quickly. And it's the most fun type of screw you, I know we're in this together, but screw you for real, because the game, I don't know what Nintendo was thinking. It basically has like an internal point system so that you and the other people on your team, because you are all going for the same goal, can each individually rack up points.
Yeah. Okay.
You can do that by killing enemies, by collecting coins, by actually touching the star. If you're the one that touches the star, you get more points than them. And at the end of each level, whoever did the best, like it ranks you on a merciless bar scale. It'll be like, okay, Peach, you did the best. So you then get to wear the crown. It's literally a crown worthy of Lord Jerrett.
Jerrett's eyes
So many
open.
references to Lord Jerrett
Come
this
again.
evening.
You say there's a crowd.
You on.
I'm listening.
So you get to wear this awesome crown. And then, so for the next level, like if you did the best, you get to wear the crown. But then if you take a hit, the crown falls off of you. And one of the other plebes on your team can come in and forcibly wear the crown. And it's like, you peon, how dare you? It's great. So like they made you, Nintendo really gave you an incentive to just openly screw your own teammates over, which is so much fun because then you run into all these situations where like, yeah, we could do this together a lot more easily if we tried because, for example, you can pick each other up. So, like, I could go to Luigi and pick him up and then throw him right off the edge. Like, you can literally do that to your own teammates. And it's the best thing ever because what if they're wearing the crown and you want the crown?
Yeah.
Maybe you just pick them up and throw them off and then you get to wear the crown.
Oh, so shiny.
Or you can leave them behind. And that's especially fun in the ultra chaotic levels that feature, what are they called? Dash pads, where like everything on the ground is a dash pad and you're just going 1,001 miles per hour. And if they fall off, they bubble up and then it's just you and you get to wear the crown at the end. And it's especially fantastic for the worst levels. So for example, Grumlump? Grumlump. I think I'm saying it right. Grumlump. What was it called? I don't know. Grumlump Chaos. It was something like that. Was this horrendous level full of lava. Like the whole thing is lava. And to get from point A to point B, you basically had to ride on these Grumlump. I can't remember what they're called. But they're basically just these blocks with happy smiley faces on them. But the minute you step on them, they start turning in 3D. And like they roll across the lava and you have to constantly be jumping to maintain your balance on the blocks. So you start with like a standard cube, right? But then as you get further down the level, a cube is really easy to balance on because it's all symmetrical. But a rectangle is not. So like an asymmetric rectangle, as it turns and flips and goes horizontal and vertical, you can very easily just F your friends over hard. They need to get on that level, but what if you jump on their head while they're trying to get on there with you?
Which bounces them down.
Which bounces them down into the lava, and then they're dead, and it's just like, you deserved it. But then, because you've killed them and they're bubbled up and you haven't popped them back out yet, what if you touch the lava? Oh, no. And then you both die. And then you both have to go all the way back to the beginning. And if they had just let you wear the crown, it wouldn't have been a problem.
You did this to yourself.
You've done this to yourself.
You have no one to blame but you.
Again, you played yourself.
And then I really think that the game should have gotten more publicity, but classic Wii U curse. So it's a really fun way. Really all the levels, but especially the most infuriating ones, are just open season for just screwing over your pals as hard as you can. Super Mario 3D World.
So whichever one came out for the Wii, not Wii U.
Yeah, with the red box.
With the red box.
Yeah.
With the red box.
I think it came out for Wii.
I have it. No, I know. She's
different
talking
one?
about a different one.
Really?
But there's one because
Super
I have
Mario
it.
3D
But it's
World
just Maybe it's just Super Mario.
Oh, maybe you mean New Super Mario Brothers.
That's what I mean.
That's what it is. It
That's
also
what I
has.
mean.
Yes, it also
It
had
also
the
has
bubbling.
that.
It also
Yeah.
had the bubbling. Yeah.
Okay, so that raises a good point. I forgot that other games had the bubbling. No,
Yeah.
so Super Mario 3D World.
Because I was like, I know I haven't played on the 3U, on the Wii, 3U,
That's
the
new
Wii
gaming
U.
system.
Grumlump Inferno is what this
Grumlump Inferno.
horrible.
It's adorable and it's terrifying.
Yes, indeed.
All
Although
at the
you little
same time.
grum lumps.
yeah,
like
actually,
burning.
that's kind of pretty accurate.
Hiya,
Look-
grum lumps.
Gonna
look
name
at
a dog
these-
Grumlump.
Look
Yeah.
at these bastards.
Then light it on fire.
That's what they look like.
I
So,
wouldn't
yeah.
do that.
So you have to those things are
fun.
constantly moving and they have no off button, and you just have to stay on
Popular
top of them.
Manzanite.
Finally.
Man, that would be really
Finally.
fun. Man, that would be. Man, so many.
You and Sam would have loved that game.
I know. We played
It's
actually
too bad.
the one for the Wii. We played
Yeah.
that one together.
Oh,
we
we
had a
would've
lot
I
of
played that
fun.
one too.
Super
we had a
Mario
lot of fun.
3D World for the Wii U specifically was a fantastic installment. I did actually beat all the levels.
Oh, really?
I beat every
Solo?
single level, include solo.
Ooh.
No, some of them with friends. It just
Okay.
depended. But yeah, it's a great game, and it's great for multiplayer gaming, like side-by-side multiplayer gaming.
I know, and I guess whenever we originally, again, I think we did this last time too. Like we originally, in my head, I just went on to online multiplayer, but I totally didn't even think about like co-op play.
Yeah, so it's a
games and
little bit
levels and stuff like
cheating,
that.
but I'm still
It's a lot of
counting
it cheating,
allow
but
it.
we'll
It's
accept
I
it.
decree.
It's totally irrelevant. Let's
It is decided. It is allowed.
We shall chop these minutes from the episode.
You just lost your spot in this episode.
So Zach, what is your
My
number two?
number two
Hey, I get to bring
is
you the
from
pen.
a offline multiplayer game. I guess maybe that's not technically true, but it's mainly played offline, and it's also for the Wii.
Ooh,
Come on,
What?
You know it.
Wait, is it Super
You
Mario
know
Galaxy?
it. You love it.
No, wait, let me
hear it.
I don't know.
Super Smash Bros.
No, I was gonna do Smash.
Oh, really?
I was gonna
The
do the one
greatest-
for Wii U though.
Wii
okay,
U's-
we can
What was
talk
the
about
Wii
it.
U one? Was that Brawl?
Diarrhea.
No, it's just Super
No.
Smash Wii U.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Yeah,
that's
it
right.
was the
Super
one that had up
Smash
to
Bros.
8
Smash.
players.
The one I'm thinking of is Brawl.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That was for
Brawl
Wii.
is still really good.
Yeah.
Brawl's great. I mean,
I keep
they're
meaning
all
to find
fantastic.
and buy Brawl for
Yeah,
the Wii
yeah.
because it was still like a great Smash
Oh,
Brothers.
man, that was great. I love Smash Brothers.
They
That's
need
one of the
for
best games.
Switch, damn it!
That'd be
They-
fucking.
I mean, if they-
I would lose my shit.
yeah.
So they made a Smash for Wii U, which was a terrible console, and they tanked it. I mean, Smash Wii U is still really, really popular. But
Right.
if they now make one for Switch
That's game
that
over.
has a considerably
That's
higher
game
user
over.
base,
God, that game's
they
fun.
better
It is
get
so
on
fun.
it.
I love that
They
game.
need to, because Smash has the most diehard following.
great. It's
Oh my
great.
god, they're great
Love
games.
So there's so many great maps on that game. I know I've talked about that one, like Infinity World. Or what's that one where you fight the glove?
Oh yeah.
The Mr. Magic Hands.
Mm-hmm.
He was one of my favorite villains.
Mr. Magic.
I like Hyrule Castle. It's good.
Oh, Hyrule Castle.
Hyrule Castle's really fun. I actually really like the Metroid Prime level where you get the lava comes up
Yep.
and
Yep.
the dragon comes out.
I don't know if it's the same
Murphy.
in
What's the
Brawl.
dragon's name? It's like a-
Ridley.
yeah, it's like a
Oh
normal
my god.
name.
Anyways.
George. It's like it's way too
It's
normal
called
of a
the
name.
Pyrosphere, at least in Wii U it is. And the funny thing about that is, so since we kind of have like the same game in common, I'm just lumping mine.
Sure,
mine
go
in
for
with
it.
yours.
Yeah.
So the funny thing about so many of those levels, because I was also going to do Smash Wii U. Wii U specifically, because if you look at the list of tournament rules banned levels, the one for Wii U is 1,000 miles.
Really?
Oh, really?
Like
Can't play.
over
Nope.
half of the levels are banned. It's
Not
just
allowed.
like banned.
Why did they get banned?
Because a
just
lot
stupid?
of these try-hard gamers. I mean, I can totally understand it
Losers.
because this is tournament rules,
Right.
Yeah,
So, like
sure.
a lot of the actual people who do tournaments, it's like, well, these particular levels, they have certain attributes about them that are basically reducing the skill of the players,
Totally.
and leaving it up to
Yeah.
chance. But my argument was going to be, that's why it's fun. That's what makes
That is
them
true.
fun.
Because that can instantly take away a lead. But I understand
Yeah,
how
that's
it's
why you
like.
got played like that's why they play like two map. It's like that one
Right.
map that's just the
Exactly.
it's like or the three platform
I
map.
don't know if you remember. I don't know if it was in Brawl, but in the
Don't know
Wii
any
U
of these maps.
version, the what was it called? The cave. The cave.
Wait, so you have a map? One of your maps on your list is from
It's from the Wii U.
Actually,
Smash.
all of mine are from Smash Wii U. What is it called?
all of yours.
Yeah.
The Great
You only have
Cave
one more
Offensive.
slot
one more
available.
left.
Oh no, but I only have one slot available. The Great Cave Offensive. Oh, tell me if this one was in Brawl, because if it was, it's like the best scumbag map on planet Earth. It's a nightmare. So that's basically a portion of the Great
Lord.
Cave Offensive.
Not that
so
I know
remember,
of.
this is for
What about
Wii U,
DK
which
Jungle?
had up
That
to
looks
eight,
like Donkey
had
Kong.
up
Yeah,
to
at the
8
top there.
players at a time.
Jesus.
And what you might be noticing from a lot of these little nooks and crannies, they are full of lava. They are full of spikes. They are full of everything that can kill you for no reason at all. So if I F smash you and you go into the lava, you're going to go into like an endless spiral of just bouncing off of other lava and then eventually into the spikes, and then you die. And I've won for nothing. And that's what makes Smash great.
It's great. It's a super fun game. What is your favorite map from Super Smash
Ooh,
Brothers?
favorite map from Smash.
You're like, let's play that one.
Man,
Hey,
it
everyone.
probably is really Hyrule Castle.
Yeah, that is a really good one.
I mean,
It's
from
big.
N64. I mean, I know
really
they keep
interesting.
upgrading. I know they keep updating it and stuff for the
Yeah.
later games and everything. But N64 Hyrule Castle, I think, is probably my
That is a
end all
good
be all
one.
favorite.
Good choice.
My favorite and my number 2 is the Star Fox ship.
Oh yeah,
that's
I love
a
that
good
one.
one.
That's
I love
always
that
a good
one,
one,
and I
too.
don't know really why.
it's a very simple map.
It's so simple, and it's like even like kind of clunky. It's
Yeah.
like not even. It's
So-
like there's no symmetry to it.
Yeah.
It's like there's this part, and then it's like exactly what the ship looks
It's
like.
got like a
and
little
that's-
dip and
yeah,
then,
and it's
like
like
the
you
little
get
bit
stuck
at the
down
end
there,
where
and
you-
you're like,
yeah.
"Ugh, this kind of sucks."
Little
But
starfighters
it's-
fly in.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
well, okay, that's part of I think one of the reasons why I like it so much. Because of its simplicity, is great. It actually can be fairly competitive, and you don't have to rely on the map screwing you over, which is great.
Right.
Even though there are those starships that come in, or what little
Yeah, they're just
fighter
like the
jets.
starfighter jets,
Yeah,
Star
and they
Fox
come in,
jets
and they'll
and
just
everything.
randomly shoot lasers.
Yeah.
And every now and then you'll fly up and get hit by it, and,
then just
the
the
odds. Yeah, dude, like you're like fuck me, fuck me, like ba-doom, ba-doom. And on the other side is the actual jet of the ship.
Yeah.
And if you hit that, it can blow you. If
that's
you're injured
really
enough, you'll be
fun.
like, God, you'll get blown back.
You just go off.
And I also love Star Fox.
Mm-hmm.
So I think one of the reasons I'm gravitated towards it is because what Smash does so well is like Pokemon Stadium. Like when you go to Pokemon Stadium, you're kind of almost in a Pokemon game. You know, it's got the music, it's got the look, and
Almost every Pokemon level is banned from
Oh, wow.
all the tournament
That makes
rules
sense.
because it's like there are too many hazards,
yeah,
too many
That
factors.
makes sense.
Follow up second favorite level probably is the Pokemon level from Smash 64.
Yeah, it's good.
Whichever, it's like the city. I can't
Yeah.
remember what it's called.
Ooh, I like that F-Zero map. Was it?
Ooh,
Where
the
you're on?
F-Zero
Yeah,
map
it's
is
like you're
good
flying
too,
on that one.
yes.
That's a
Cool.
really they do such a good job of integrating these other games into their one game, which is like one of those things that I don't understand how they like get away with. It's like Kingdom Hearts. I'm like, how do they do that? Like they're like licensed for all this
They
stuff.
just got the rights.
Like
for
they got
everything.
Sonic in Brawl. I think they had Sonic. That was a really fun map too. It was
I mean,
just
even
a piece
Cloud
of the Sonic.
made it into
Yeah.
the Wii U
Yeah.
version. So
Yeah.
did Bayonetta, all kinds of fun
Oh,
stuff.
yeah, that's right.
Snake
Yeah.
from Metal Gear Solid's
That's
in
true.
there.
God,
It's like
Snake
that's
used
like
to
a
be in it.
Sony thing. It's
Yeah.
like, why is he in there? You know, I don't know. I never understood.
Smorgasbord of fighters.
It's great. That's what makes it so wonderful. And yeah, I mean, Star Fox. I just love the look of Star Fox. That's the map I used to pick all the time. I guess there's something about its simplicity, and no one ever complained. Everyone's like, "Yeah, Star Fox, that's fun. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
See,
Yeah.
people complain about the Crate Cave Offensive. They're like,
I would
don't you
understand
do
why.
it, you
I would totally
scumbag. Don't
understand.
you do
I
it.
used
And
to
I'm like, I'm
complain
going to
about-
do
It's
it.
my pick.
Yeah, you have to. Everyone takes turn. The DK level, I didn't really love. That sounds like
Frenzy,
I
Jungle
kept
Frenzy,
falling
right?
into the water.
Yeah, if we could try to like
Yeah.
always miss the barrel, then it'll shoot you back up. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was me all the time, every time.
Good times.
Yeah,
Good.
times.
Love Smash Bros. But Star Fox, one of my favorite maps. Love that map.
Good one. All right, well, my number 2 map comes from For Honor.
For Honor.
And so it is, and that map is River Fort. Now, River Fort, actually, I already got a picture pulled up
Oh,
for
well
you.
then.
I was prepared.
The
Look at Jarrett's
service.
iPhone 10 that he got.
It's not a 10.
So cool.
It's just a 7.
Wow, he's
Nope,
behind.
That's an
I
iPhone X.
All right. So, some
Make
bitch.
it right.
think your iPhone is broken.
Yeah, it might be. So that's River Fort.
Oh, it looks symmetrical.
So basically, River Fort. The nice thing about For Honor is across all different game modes, you still play on the same maps. So, but like if you're doing a duel, it'll section off to various parts of the map for you to play in. But this, when you're playing like Dominion, Elimination, or Skirmish rounds, River Fort. That's when River Fort can really shine brightest. Because especially in Dominion, you have to capture 3 different zones, and the 3 zones. So in this one right here that we're looking at in this picture, the zone A is up here on this tower, zone B is down here in this courtyard, and zone C is over here in this like outlook over here. And the best part about it, again, it's like with the dam on Last of Us, it has multiple levels. Now, with For Honor, since you're not necessarily fighting with ranged weapons, although you do have some feats which allow you to use a one-shot ranged weapon, having high or low ground doesn't take into as much effect as it would with The Last of Us. But this map allows for some great environmental kills, like around the tower that A is housed in, and you fight next to this when you're going for like B in the open courtyard is a moat filled with spikes. And if you can like get your opponents over there and like kick them off, you get into the moat. That's a good kill. Over on C in the lookout, it's like a 2-tier. And so you fight if you're fighting on the upper level and you kick somebody into the lower tier, then you can do a leaping down attack and kill them in one hit. Nice. Plus, it also has some openings just to the cliff face that you can kick them off there. And then A also has some harder to get 2 points that you can kick people off of, but it also has these ladders that you can climb up, and you can surprise enemies by like sliding down into them or chasing them up a ladder and cutting them off the ladder into the moat below. All these different things.
Very cool.
For Honor is a very cold game. Lots of
not a lot of love.
Not a lot of love.
Not a lot of hugging.
Shitload of salt.
Can you hug in that game?
Shitload of salt.
It's a salty game.
Salty fans.
But yeah. So, I don't know necessarily what made it be my favorite game. I think just because it also, for as much as the size of the map is too, it still had a great B allowed for some good open field combat. A and C allowed for really tight quarters, so you didn't have as much room to move around. You could easily get thrown up against a wall or something, which in the game, if you're thrown up against a wall, stuns you and makes it harder for you to deflect an incoming attack. So it just threw a lot of different variables that I think makes it one of the better maps. But it was really weird, and I'm not really sure why this was the case, but shortly after the game's launch, it was taken out of rotation for a while. I guess they had to do some tweaks to it or something based on some feedback they got once the game actually was live, and they're like, hold up, there's some big exploits here. Not really sure of the full story, but they took it away for a while, and I was dying while it was gone, and then they finally brought it back, and I still love going back to it and
maybe
playing.
Part of it was really glitchy.
Maybe. I really don't remember, but it was like a week or so after the game came out, they were like, yeah, we got to pull River Fort. And then it was legitimately like 2-3 weeks before they put it back in.
Because pulling a map instead of just re-releasing it on a patch, that's a little unusual.
Yeah, Halo's done that.
Well, Destiny did it. Remember the map from Destiny 1 that was on the moon?
Yes.
They pulled that one
you're right.
real quick.
You're
and that was like my favorite map from Destiny 1.
Map. Yeah.
Did they bring it back after they fixed it? What, they didn't?
They never brought that map back for some reason.
See, that's crazy. That blows my mind.
Yeah.
Well, probably because Destiny 1 sucks, but...
Hey,
maybe.
Stand behind that.
But that sucked because I love that map from Destiny. But so I was very sad about that when they did this with River Fort, but now they brought it back. And the maps, I will say, for For Honor, as much shit as the game gets for its unstable
for its
servers,
it's pretty good. No,
and sometimes mixing with unbalanced heroes when they whenever they release a new hero, but it's like it's OP, it's too good.
Everyone does that for every character ever,
right?
Yeah.
But for as much as it do, the maps of For Honor are great. I do love them. I do love the maps.
It's a highlight.
And so, but River Fort stands out as probably my favorite map from For Honor so far.
Very nice.
All right. Well, before we go into our number ones, let's do the moment with Mogan.
Ba-boom. All right, so we just got a little bit of news and updates and whatnot. So, out now, Resident Evil Revelations 1 and 2 on the Switch. Coming soon, Little Witch Academia Chamber of Time for PS4, November 30th.
And that's the one that's on a show, based on a show?
Yes, that one's based on a show. The Chamber of Time.
It's a nice ring to it.
It's probably about the right tone.
I'd like to visit that place. Yeah. Welcome to the Chamber of Time.
Similar to Siberia 2 for the Switch.
Now on the Switch.
Luxurious yet mysterious.
Siberia 2 for the Switch.
But not dangerous.
November 30th. That's such an old-ass game.
Yeah.
It's really fun. That still is funny.
Xenoblade Chronicles 2, a new game coming to the Switch December 1st. People are really, really psyched about it. And Doom VFR for PSVR and Vive December 1st.
Man, I would love.
Do people say Viva or Vive?
I think it's Vive. I've always said Vive.
But plot thickens.
I don't know. But man, I would love to play Doom in VR.
I don't think I could handle it.
We would walk in, you'd be on the ground oh,
they got
drooling from the mouth. Oh,
the demons got me.
Yeah, it's a malfunction in the game. You can't escape. Movie idea. Sorry.
But man, no, I would love the Doom in VR. I want to get Doom for the Switch, even though I played it and beat the game already for.
Don't do that, you madman.
I'm not gonna.
Doom would be good on the Switch.
The Doom, because I love it so much, I want to be able to take it places. It's a great game. It's a great game.
Can you imagine Doom VR in the airport?
Whoa.
It's just, I don't think they'd let you do that.
They'd let you do that.
Get away from me.
Zombie.
No, it's not zombies. It's demons.
It's demons.
I'm not an idiot.
I mean, it is the airport. They're definitely demons.
Definitely.
That is true. I actually listened to the Doom soundtrack for the very first time while waiting in the airport to take off from a flight from a business trip. I was like, what do I want to listen to? Here's some nice relaxing music.
Yeah, that guy's zenning out over there. He's in
Well,
zen
you need
mode.
something to drown out the noise, and the Doom soundtrack is perfect for that.
God, it's still so good. I still go back and listen to that one on the regular.
On the rig.
On the rig. All right. Was that all the news for
That's
today?
all the news.
All the news
That's
for
all
this
that
episode.
matters.
And now we're going to hear from Mr. Zachary Pox for
You
his number
know
one.
where I'm coming from.
Is it Halo?
It's gotta be. I'm not gonna do
God.
multiplayer maps without mentioning Halo.
It's got to be.
So there's a gazillion I can talk about. But let's just talk about Zanzibar from Halo 2.
All
Great
right.
map, right? Am I right? No?
I feel like I've
You've probably seen
I've
it.
played it. I
You
know I
probably
have
have.
because I play even though I haven't played
They
all the way
remade
through
it in
the
Halo
campaign.
3 multiplayer, and it's called
Oh, then
Last
I've definitely
Resort.
played it. Okay.
Okay,
yes.
so basically,
Sounds like a nice place.
it's a nice place. Well, yeah, sure. It's what I love about Halo is they're unbelievably well-designed maps, either symmetrical or asymmetrical, and sometimes the asymmetrical maps, like Zanzibar, really stand out. They're really well made for objective game types. And if you're familiar with Halo, then you're familiar with this map. You start out on the beach if you're attacking, and first of all, it's sort of like a crumbled fort. It looks like where things used to flourish, and now they
Okay,
no
I
longer
know
do.
what-
That's
I know
Last
what this
Resort.
one is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or is that
that's
from
the
Halo
new
4?
one?
It's the one with the pin with a spin wheel.
It
Okay,
is.
I know
It's
this
like
one.
some sort of I don't know, like a generator plant
Yeah.
or something. I don't know the backstory of
Does
it.
that look more correct?
No, that's
not even
what is
close.
that? That's Sanctuary remastered.
Incorrect.
Sanctuary is a cool map.
Oh, it is. You're right. My bad. Just kidding.
So Zanzibar is like a fort that's very old and ancient, or not not that ancient. It's like still that wheel is still spinning, but everything around it's kind of decrepit and it has been sort of blown up by wartime. There you go.
This one's
Yeah.
got to be correct.
And so you can see this is where you start if you are on the attacking team. You have a ghost and a warthog on the beach, and you kind of come up here and you take a little U-turn and you come this way, and then there's like a fort there. And nothing, like I said, what's lovely about it's asymmetrical. So it's like there's little nooks and crannies where people will go and stay. Like they'll go get the rocket launcher if you're defending. You can kind of go up to this area and you'll have a nice bird's eye view of like the warthog coming. And there's a sniper rifle over there, and no one's ever really in the same spot. It's not like there's someone going to be there. There's someone going to be there. It's always different, and it's just. The first time you go, let's say you're playing Assault, where you got to take the bomb into the base, which is a very common game type for that, and it's really fun. And the first time the two teams clash is always just super chaotic. It's like the warthog gets blown up, and the guy gets a triple kill, and the other guy kills the other sniper. It's just like mayhem immediately because everyone's rushing to get weapons and like shooting things, and bridges can fall down, barrels can explode. Like it's
And can't you jump on the wheel too?
you can get on the wheel. Yeah, it's a map
that
that's
sounds
dynamic
fun.
that you can manipulate just a little bit.
Can
but,
the wheel squish you?
can you get squished by the wheel?
I don't think so. I think
You
it like
can
goes
ride
into
it.
the. I think it like goes into the ground.
Oh,
Yeah.
what's the point?
But-
Yeah.
Well, because you're
if
on
a
the
warthog
inside
gets-
of the wheel. You're on like one of the arms.
and it's kind of slow, and it's
Yeah.
like it's not like that dangerous, but it is like
okay.
it does make for like a rocket. Like there's been plenty of times where like a rocket's coming at me in it, but it hits the wheel because it's coming up, and you're like, and you go into the base and you can plant the bomb, and there's like little nooks and crannies everywhere. So it's just like a fun map that's never the same, and that's what's really wonderful about these asymmetrical maps compared to maybe the more symmetrical ones. When you play a symmetrical map on Halo, it's like I'm going to be here, they're going to be there. This is where this person, you have your sort of mapped out stations, and you do have that for asymmetrical maps, but there's a lot more randomness that occurs. And it's one of those maps that's like very casually fun. Like when I play Halo, usually I play like competitive, and I'm like 4v4, like you're here, you're here. It's like teamwork. And that totally exists in a map like Zanzibar, but it's also, you kind of let loose and you're like, let's just have fun. Take the warthog, jump, and flip, burn, bang, explosions. It's like just mayhem.
It's very Michael Bay.
Yeah, mayhem always ensues. And it's beautiful too. It's like midday, you're in like a tropical location, so that always also makes it like a lot of fun. Yeah, and they remade it for Halo 3 called Last Resort. It doesn't play as well in Halo 3 in my opinion. Halo 2 really knocked it out with like the playstyle. And that's even a map when they first introduced Halo 2 multiplayer in E3 in like 2004, 2003. They were like, we're here on Zanzibar. That was like the map. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was like the map that totally showcased the game. And they introduced elites there, and it was like super. I mean,
That's
I have very
awesome.
good memories of them introducing all that stuff. So yeah, it's got like that place in my heart too of like, that's where I first saw Halo 2 footage.
Nice.
On Zanzibar.
Very nice.
Yeah, it was really fun.
All right. Well, my number one comes from a very recent game, actually. Call of Duty World War II.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
It's incredibly recent, in fact.
It's a very good game, I'm sure.
Yes.
So I will preface, like, I'm sure this level, like with most of these games, like the multiplayer maps are taken from the single player campaign. I haven't played the campaign of Call of Duty World War II yet, just because I haven't felt like doing it yet. So I'm just playing the multiplayer right now. But this map is great. Like I said, this one, my other two maps have had like variation of like different levels and things like this. This one is an incredibly the sniper's dream world. It's Gustav Cannon is what it's called.
Come again, sir?
Gustav Cannon, which is actually a real thing from World War II. It was a railway-based massive artillery cannon, basically.
Okay.
And so that's where this takes place. But it's the Gustav Cannon is in the middle of the map. Basically, and the railroad tracks split the map in two. And so this is in the very middle of this. You can climb up on it and get all the way up to the top, granting you this incredible coverage of the entire map, because the entire map has some little hills in it, but it's for the most part completely open, except for some buildings in each corner.
Nice.
And like at the front and back, front and back of the cannon, there's like a trench that goes under the railroad tracks. But other than that, and a few trees and rocks and stuff like that, this map is pretty much open. So
Snipers just watching.
Exactly. Yeah. So you can have some good cover along the edges of the map, but if you're trying to like cut across the open field, like you better just hope you can zig and zag, my friend, because you're gonna get shot by like 5 snipers. But that's what makes it fun. You know, a lot of levels lend themselves to being a good mix. Like I could be an assault using like a rifle and I'll be fine. I could use a submachine gun and I'll be fine. I could be using a pistol and I'll be fine. But this one is just like the sniper rifle reigns supreme. And I think that makes just for a really good dynamic that is so far makes it this like literally my favorite map from Call of Duty World War II, because I normally still will play it as like with an assault rifle. Like I usually still use the M1 Garand and stuff like that because that's my favorite weapon from the game.
You're so basic.
It's a great gun. It's a great gun.
I will take
no shame from you.
Default.
But still, this is the one where no, it's not actually. But this is where I will practice my sniper marksmanship is on this level, because it's a lot of fun. Now I will say,
are you good?
You got the cloud, sir.
I'm decent.
Jared, get him, Jerrett.
But it's so crazy because there's like these 2 barns and stuff in the back corners that you can post up in, and so, to give you like a good diagonal cross at this tower. But like, man, the top of the Gustav Cannon has so much cover, like from these like fences that are on it to provide cover and everything. You can have like 3-4 snipers up there. And if you can have like good cover from other people who are defending the ramps coming up to the top, like you could stay up there forever.
Alternatively, you can come up there and like kick another guy off.
What about a nade?
You can't kick anybody off. But I actually today did. I was playing some. Yeah, if you can throw a grenade up there, you can get one up there.
Fun do that.
But I actually ran up there and was able to get like do like a triple kill because I
clip or it didn't happen.
I think I do. I think I saved the clip. I can't remember if it's from that or another game, but I like ran up and was able to kill 3 snipers because they were all just like posted up looking down their scopes and didn't see me coming.
Bunch of dummies.
But anyway, that's it. That's the Gustav Cannon. And so you get to be all up here and then all this down here. So like there's a little bit of cover around it on the sides, but like it's a crazy level, but just because of the sheer amount of sniper fire that comes from it. Now I will say most other times snipers annoy the crap out of me because 95% of the time the snipers in Call of Duty, and it's only feel like it's Call of Duty, are those quick scoping motherfuckers.
Oh yeah.
Who just like you turn a corner and there's like
scum of the earth, if you ask me.
Oh my God. Like, I'm like, are you guys having that like hip dot shot thing that like is have you seen that? The thing that you can buy and put it on it sticks to your TV screen. It's like a little red dot that shows like the center where your reticle is. So you don't have to use your scope. Oh, it totally is. Yeah. But it's a thing you can buy. And I'm like, is this the only way this is possible? Yeah. I don't understand how people could be so damn fast with it.
RNG.
So I don't know. It's a thing. But normally, so as much as like any other map, especially because all the other maps are usually kind of close quarters, and then I'll get like quick scoped by a sniper, and I'm like, how is that possible? But in this one, I'm like, yeah, probably. But here I am in this in Gustav Cannon. At least I got sniped by a sniper, and I'm like, that was skill. Nice. You were able to get me.
Well done.
Good on you, sir.
Was out in the open.
Finish me off now.
That was my fault. I was in the open. I award you that kill, sir. But no. So it's fun to have one from a more recent game like this. But Gustav Cannon is standing out to be my favorite map from Call of Duty World War II, and that is why it sits at my number 1 for this episode.
Boom.
So we've talked about a lot of great maps this game. Obviously, please send us some of your favorite multiplayer maps or your thoughts on any of the games, the ones that we listed in this episode. But before we go, we do have our song contest for this week. The hint comes from me. It is Discover the Beginnings of an Ancient Order. Discover the Beginnings of an Ancient Order.
It's so easy.
You know what? Sometimes they got to be a little bit easy, you know? With Mark's throwback one to 1991 stunts.
Yeah, we need an easy.
I played the hell out of that game.
But yeah, I know you did. But how many other people did other than
failed
Mark?
us, good sir.
I did not. You didn't know. You didn't know it. So it falls to me. So that one more time is the hint.
He's gone mad with power.
Discover the beginning. Fine.
You know what? It's mine.
Discover the beginnings of an ancient order. Now, for first-time listeners, Song Contest goes live Wednesday at 9 a.m. the day after this episode airs. If you're the first person to correctly guess the game, then you get to send us a song and hint for us to use in a future episode. So look out for that Wednesday, 9 a.m. the day after this episode airs. But with that, that concludes this episode of Team Chat Podcast. Until next time, I'm one of your hosts, Jerrett Wilson, joined to my right by Rachel Mogan.
Adios.
And to my left by Zachary Parks.
Good night and good luck.
We'll see you all next time. Stick around for the song.